Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Dennis Wu. Thank you for joining us. City volunteers in central Taiwan tend to the families of an elderly couple who lost their lives to a fatal fire in Nantou. We have a special news series that gives us an in-depth look at why natural disasters in Taiwan are causing more and more damages. And city volunteers from Hong Kong attend the Overseas Volunteer Training Seminar in Taiwan's Banqiao via live video link. On Sunday, June 24th, a midnight fire broke out in a government dormitory at Zhongxin New Village in central Taiwan's Nantou. The fire quickly spread through the wooden structures, resulting in 2 deaths. A faulty electrical wiring was said to be the cause of the tragedy. Upon receiving the news, city volunteers arrived on scene to help with funeral arrangements and bring much needed emotional support to the victim's family.
The fire started from the old wooden dormitory and quickly spread through the neighborhood. Firefighters rushed to the scene, hosing down the fire to prevent further damage. The buildings, consisting mainly of wood, were almost instantly engulfed by the blaze.
When we were searching through the dorm, we saw a senior couple. They were not in a good condition, and we're still trying our best to help.
The two couldn't even walk properly.
Unfortunately, the couple who couldn't escape in time passed away in the fire. Tzu volunteers arrived on scene to chant sutra for the deceased.
They were a loving couple. The husband took good care of his wife. I always see them out here taking a stroll.
Forensic investigations are carried out before the bodies of the seniors are delivered to the mortuary. The presence of Tzu volunteers brings some emotional support to the victim's family.
The police say the fire was probably caused by faulty electrical wiring.
We called them around lunchtime yesterday and asked if they ate any zongzi. They said they did.
For this family, Dragon Boat Festival will always be remembered as the day they lost their loved ones.
The most important thing to do now is to let go and pray for their parents. The best way to do so is to chant Amitabha.
The love and support from Tzu volunteers are carrying the victim's family through their losses every step of the way.
Medical care in Hong Kong is relatively expensive and something that many can't afford, not to mention the long waiting period. Thus, city volunteers and team members organized a free clinic in Tin Shui Wei to serve residents in need. Here's more. Here at the community hall in Tin Shui Wei of Hong Kong, city volunteers and team medical staff are once again working together to provide a free clinic for over 200 local residents.
We hope through a vision recovery project like this to immediately help those in need. We're grateful to Dr. Xie Xi-er for introducing a few ophthalmology doctors to join our free clinic checkups.
The free clinic provides residents with vision checkups, internal medicine, Chinese medicine, and psychosomatic medicine services, so that elderly people who have trouble moving about can get an update on their health condition.
Thanks to the doctor who gave me a medical certificate so that I can go to a public hospital to get my eyes checked. The Chinese medicine doctor was also great. He gave me prescriptions. Both of them were great. Thank you very much.
We are able to explain a little more in free clinics like this. Though we have limited equipment, we are able to give a basic diagnosis, so the patients were all thankful. It is a simple checkup, but they feel that people still care and are helping them. I think that is meaningful.
Apart from city volunteers, many local residents also arrive to give a helping hand.
I found out from the news that Tin Shui Wai was in need of help. I wanted to join charity organizations to give to society. I'm very happy to join Tzu and give a little of my love. I'm truly happy.
The free clinic service provided by Tzu not only safeguards the health of local residents, but also lets them feel the love and warmth of the Buddhist NGO. In Tainan, Taiwan, to make their Duanwu festival more meaningful, team members teamed up with the Genesis Social Welfare Foundation and the Zheng'an Homeless Social Welfare Foundation to hold a joint free clinic for the city's homeless people. The clinic also helped these people know that society do care about them. Your blood pressure is too high, so avoid any salty food.
Measuring the homeless seniors' blood pressure, the TIMA doctors discovered that most of them have not been taking care of themselves properly.
The homeless seniors are mostly in their 60s with chronic disease. We reminded them that they need to have their problems checked and also take good care of their health.
You need to eat less sugar and more vegetables.
Feeling the love and care from the TIMA doctors, a senior burst into tears. For most of them, a life on the street was never a personal choice. The TIMA doctors say that they are very happy to be able to look after these homeless seniors.
I am very happy to be able to help the needy.
Most of the patients here have no medical insurance. I'm very grateful to have this opportunity to help them. I hope we can continue to take care of their health.
Along with the free health clinic, hairstylists from the Tainan Hairdressers Trade Association also give the homeless free haircuts, allowing them to look and feel better for the Dragon Boat Festival.
The recent rains of 6/12 highlighted once again the precariousness of many areas in Taiwan. However, is the disaster man-made or natural? If it is indeed natural, then why is it that damages caused by natural disasters seem to be getting worse? In our new series on the topic, we take a closer look at how the government has mismanaged the country's development policy. This area was previously all forest, but it was all cut down. Some of these mountain areas should have never been developed. So these problem areas which have come down to us now have to be dealt with. We can no longer kick the can down the road.
Overdevelopment in Taiwan is not a new story, and for the past 10 years, experts have been following the problem closely as development in sensitive areas has only increased.
Every community's low capacity, in addition to that allowed by law, has been expanded 2 to 3 times. But are there sufficient flood protection measures? For example, has our sewage capacity matched this growth? No. How about the disaster prevention spaces? Have they been increased with the growth of development? No. The only thing that have increased is the number of buildings and people living in them. It is totally going against load management.
As a mountainous country, Taiwan continually faces the threat of earthquakes, typhoons, and monsoons, and many of Taiwan's residents are unwittingly living in high-risk disaster areas. Over 50,000 hectares, home of 6 million Taiwanese, are listed as high-risk flood areas. 60,000 hectares, inhabited by 140,000 people, are listed as high-risk mudslide areas. And another 1.8 million people live above unstable strata. In other words, over almost 1/3 of all Taiwanese live, work, and play in high-risk disaster zones.
If we just look at it from a disaster prevention viewpoint, when developing habitations, you need to look at its low capacity, like how much rain that area can deal with. That measurement should be based on several indicators, not just one. Past research has clearly shown that many areas have no capacity to handle anything at all, and so there should be no development there.
What is needed now is an immediate survey of the bearing capacity of all land in Taiwan and encouraging people to move away from areas that have been shown to be high risk. Comparing the low-lying Taipei Basin with Holland, Holland's population density is 425 people per square kilometer, while the Taipei Basin has 3,400 persons per square kilometer, almost 8 times that amount. Added to the problem is the Taipei Basin sits on plentiful groundwater and is surrounded by many flood dikes. The result is that when it rains heavily, water can't be absorbed and can't run off. With enough rain, even Taipei's waterworks system will fail to handle the excess water, leading to a need for evacuation, which would be next to impossible considering the region's population density.
To start, we need to not overdevelop any one area, and in the danger areas that have already been developed, such as new communities, the appropriate steps need to be taken to ensure these areas have the ability to absorb floodwaters.
The National Land Act, after 20 years, is still in a draft form. However, as disasters have only increased in frequency, experts urge that the government should no longer wait, but begin to map out disaster zones and prevent further habitation in those areas on the basis of the Geology Act, Water Conservation Act, and Regional Planning Act, which are already in existence. Otherwise, the tragedies of the past few weeks will only repeat themselves.
In Taichung's Houli District, Tzu Chi Care recipient Mr. Lan is a single dad with 2 children to raise, who has been made handicapped by an auto accident. To help ease his burden, over 60 volunteers descended upon his home to scrub it clean.
Early in the morning, over 60 Tzu Chi volunteers gather at the Tai'an community in Taichung's Houli District. The sunny day is perfect for an outing, but these Good Samaritans decided to put their time to a more charitable use. Mr. Lan's house, to which they've come to help clean up, is filled with cast-offs.
After some assessment, we decided the most important thing is to thoroughly clean the house to give the children a better living and learning environment.
The cleanup operation begins. Attention is given to even the smallest nooks and crannies. While volunteers clean out truck after truck of unwanted goods, younger helpers wipe clean the furniture.
It's really messy. I'm just happy I don't need to pick up rubbish and stay in a place like this. I think opportunities like this is great, and I would love to come and volunteer more often.
For the volunteers, Mr. Lan's predicament reminds them how blessed they are.
My husband encourages this kind of community service, so we have brought our children here today.
It's okay if my children don't do well in school, but they must at least have good moral character to help them meet the challenges in society.
Take a tour around the now spotless living room, bathrooms and bedrooms, and you know the volunteers' hours of labor have all been worthwhile. Mr. Lan puts his palms together in thanks. The day ends with a salute to all living beings and to the heavens for another opportunity to create good karma.
Situated right behind Hualien's Jinsebo, Puming Temple celebrated its 90th anniversary on Sunday, June 24th. In attendance was the constructor's grandson, Takashi Kamala, who made the trip from Japan. Also, the descendants of Xu Congmin, the man who renovated the temple at the end of Japanese occupation, also came to attend the event.
At Hualien's Puming Temple, Takashi Kamala, a lawyer from Japan, is offering his prayers. 90 years ago, his grandfather Chugo Kamala built the temple, which worshipped the Earth's treasury Bodhisattva and quickly became a spiritual center for local residents.
My hope for the temple is for its continuous growth, and I pray for the good health and well-being of its Dharma masters and worshippers.
After the Japanese occupation ended, the temple was renovated by Xu Congmin. Half a century later, his daughter and grandson also returned to their homeland to attend the temple's 90th birthday.
The first and 15th day of each lunar month, I would come here to pray. I was about 5 or 6 then. As my family prayed here, I just followed along. To be back here and seeing people praying here sure makes me happy.
Generation after generation, the Puming Temple continues to spread the positive message of selfless giving and compassion.
Built in 1922, the Puming Temple of Hualien has survived World War II and became an important spiritual center for local residents. The Tzu Chi Foundation's founder, Master Zeng Yan, came here as a nun in 1963 to undergo training, and 3 years later, she was inspired to start a Buddhist charity. Thus, the temple is sacred to Tzu Chi volunteers.
It is Duanwu Festival at the Puming Temple in Hualien. In spite of the scorching weather, a solemn and stately worship continues. Under the leadership of Dharma Master Huibao, the temple has existed for nearly a century. Back in 1922, due to anti-Japanese riots led by indigenous people and a cholera outbreak, a Japanese man who worked in the area by the name of Chigo Kamala decided to build a temple which would honor the earth treasury Bodhisattva. This would later become Puming Temple.
The intention was to help people calm their hearts, so it was a center of goodness.
The temple sustained serious damage during World War II. It wasn't until 1958 that the temple was renovated thanks to the kindness of Xu Tongming and others. In 1963, Master Zheng Yan came here as a nun and trained in a small cabin behind the temple. Though life was difficult, the master was able to focus all her attention on comprehending the Lotus Sutra. On February 9, 1969, less than 3 years after the master started the Tzu Chi Foundation, she led her disciples in conducting the first ever winter relief distribution right at the temple. Now Tzu Chi can be found in 74 countries around the world.
I just followed Master Zheng Yan. I participated in the Puming Temple winter relief distribution. I'm so happy that the whole world knows about us. Everyone has been working so hard.
The 90-year-old temple was influential in propagating Buddhism in Hualien and has influenced local communities to do good deeds.
This has become a spiritual center for indigenous people. At first, when they came to worship, they brought meat as offerings. However, Abbess Hui Bao started to teach them about using vegetarian food as offerings instead, and slowly they began to change their habits.
As the home to the Earth Treasury Bodhisattva who vows to enlighten all beings, the Puming Temple continues to inspire people to do good and has established itself as a major spiritual home on the east coast of Taiwan.
The Tzu Chi seminar for overseas volunteers that took place in Taiwan last week was missing some of its participants from Hong Kong because their flight to Taiwan was cancelled due to Typhoon Talon. However, to not miss out on the opportunity to recharge themselves spiritually, Hong Kong volunteers participated in the seminar via video conferencing.
Thanks to a live video link, Tzu Chi volunteers in Hong Kong whose flight to Taiwan got cancelled due to Typhoon Talon are still able to take part in the overseas volunteer training seminar that is held in Banqiao in New Taipei City. Xiao Genyu even passes up the chance to attend her son's graduation ceremony just for this.
To receive the Dharma, I had to relinquish the chance to attend my son's graduation ceremony. The typhoon is no obstacle to my decision to come here.
Though unable to travel to Taiwan, all are more focused than ever for the lectures.
We couldn't go to Taiwan and see Master Zheng Yan, so it's now up to us to work even harder and wait for the next opportunity to go to Taiwan.
The lectures that are happening in Taiwan are simultaneously screened at the Hong Kong Jingsi Hall.
The master didn't want us to risk our lives to go to Taiwan. We're very thankful to her.
We were able to listen to the sharings by the brothers and sisters via video conference. Our hearts are there with them.
United in one heart to serve humanity, wherever they are, Tzu Chi volunteers never feel alone.
The Overseas Volunteer Training Seminar that started on June 21st was held in both the Banqiao and Santong Tzu Chi grounds to accommodate a number of participants. In light of Dragon Boat Festival, kitchen volunteers overcame challenges to prepare special vegetarian zongzi for their overseas counterparts to enjoy.
It's barely 6 in the morning on June 16th, and kitchen volunteers are already hard at work at making delicious zongzi for Tzu Chi Overseas Training Seminar.
The multi-grain rice was made last night at 9. This morning at 4, we made the sticky rice. With our volunteer sisters working together, we're glad for this opportunity to bless Tzu Chi volunteers worldwide.
For volunteers from abroad, it's a rare opportunity to spend Dragon Boat Festival with the Taiwan Tzu Chi family. It reminds this Chinese volunteer of home.
Today is Dragon Boat Festival and also the Overseas Training Seminar. To eat zongzi brings back memories of when we worked together to wrap zongzi for a scholarship fundraiser for children living in the mountain region. That time together is very touching.
For instance, today I used watermelon peels to make soup. Everyone says that it was really good, a little sour, a little sweet.
Inside the kitchen, volunteers not only put their whole heart into making the sticky rice dumplings, but also into cooking delicious meals without leaving behind any kitchen scrap.
As you can see, our kitchen volunteers are putting a lot of effort into preparing the dishes. Our housekeeping volunteers are making the dishes look very pretty and elegant. It brings people Dharma joy.
We have a lot of people here at the seminar. Our housekeeping and kitchen volunteers are all very detailed in taking care of us. I'm very grateful for them.
Every meal is delicious and healthy. Taiwan's Tzu Chi volunteers take care of overseas volunteers like family, making sure everyone's stomach is filled and is spiritually fulfilled.
Among those who participated in this year's Tzu Chi Overseas Volunteer Training Seminar in Taipei, Taiwan, was German Tzu Chi volunteer Wu Wenying. As a restaurant owner, Ms. Wu used her business to draw more people to Tzu Chi. And to make it easier for her fellow volunteers to visit her, Ms. Wu even moved her business closer to the Hamburg airport. Here's more.
Promoting Tzu Chi's work in Germany is not an easy task for volunteers. However, this tea party organized by Wu Wenying at her restaurant is packed with participants.
I own a restaurant, so I said to everyone, I will cook you something, and you come to my house for a tea party while I will share with you the master's teachings.
To spread Tzu Chi's seeds of love, the volunteer even relocated her restaurant closer to the Hamburg airport.
I found a shop only 2 minutes away from the airport. So when any volunteers arrive in Germany, I am the closest one to pick them up. When they land, they will call me, tell me that they are starving, and ask me to cook them a bowl of noodles.
When Wu Wenying's husband passed away from cancer, her fellow volunteers all came to show their support.
In the whole month that my husband was in the hospital, all the Tzu Chi volunteers in Hamburg and people who I have helped before came to my restaurant to show their support.
Certified as a Tzu Chi commissioner last year, Wu Wenying, who is taking part in this year's overseas training seminar in Taiwan, vows to continue walking the Tzu Chi path.
Due to the global economic slump, many retailers in New York City were forced to go out of business. Some of the stores decided to donate their residual inventory to the local Tzu Chi chapter, who should then sell these goods to raise money for charity. We now check out the Tzu Chi market, which is open every Sunday. Thank you for watching. Farewell.